Hello and welcome again to the Western Thunder Drumline YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Carver, Director of the Western Thunder Marching Band, and I'm going to go through some basic marching snare drum technique information for you all to kind of connect what you're doing at home, at your home high school, to what we expect of our marching snare drum players here at the University of Wyoming. All right, I'm going to start very, very basic. This might be review for a lot of you, but for some folks who might be coming to us from a lesser percussion background, I want to make sure that we're covering all of the bases and go through the technique of traditional grip, the setup, and the legato stroke from the beginning. All right, so first I want to talk about our traditional grip. We do use traditional grip with our marching snare drum line here at the University of Wyoming. So I'm going to do a quick overview of that. All right, first of all, I'm playing, yes, with marching band drumsticks. All right, a little bit thicker than your concert band drumsticks. So please, if you're not already, go get yourself a pair, your choice until you get here, just so that you're practicing with something that's a little bit thicker in diameter. That will give you a better feel for how to hold the sticks with this technique. All right, so focusing on the left hand in traditional grip. The right hand is just that match grip technique. I like to teach that fulcrum pinch point of thumb and first finger, wrapping the back fingers around. A little bit of excess stick should be sticking out there, and you'll find a nice comfortable balance point there where you get good rebound with the stick. All right, the same goes for teaching the traditional grip. I like to teach it, sticking out your left hand as if you were going to do a left-handed handshake with somebody, all right, with the thumb on top, and we're going to insert that stick right at that fulcrum point. On the Vic Firth sticks, they're kind enough to give us that American flag as kind of a good reference point. Somewhere around that, it may differ, half an inch up towards the bead of the stick, half an inch back towards the butt of the stick. But somewhere around that is generally a good point of balance for the fulcrum. All right, and then what you're going to see is the webbing between my thumb and first finger is going to be that squeeze point, all right? The fulcrum, the pivot point of the stick on the grip, all right? And we can strip this grip down to the basic level of just that, of just holding the stick with the thumb and first finger, and then turning that hand, all right, as if you were opening a doorknob, okay? And it's important to have the thumb on top in this so that when you open that door, when you turn that hand, you're lifting the bead of the stick up. All right, one of the common mistakes that I see with young players who are switching to traditional grip, maybe at the late middle school or the early high school level, is we see this. We see the traditional grip with the palm up towards the sky or up to the ceiling, all right, so that it would look like this. All right, and the problem with that is that we've already rotated the wrist to that we can't turn the stick up anymore without moving the elbow and without changing a lot of things that we don't want. All right, so thumb on top, very important part of this grip. Okay, so stripping it down to the basic level, working on legato strokes with just no fingers attached to the stick is a great point to start. Right, I'm combining the rebound of the drum head with turn and the wrist to let that naturally bounce up and down and controlling it with the fulcrum pinch point of the stick. All right, now let's add the fingers. All right, we're going to add the first finger curved around, index finger on the top of the stick, and connect the thumb right where your nail bed is on your index finger. All right? And then we're going to allow the stick to rest on our ring finger, again, right there on the side of the finger, on the side of the nail bed. Okay? The middle finger has no purpose right now. It's just kind of relaxed and hanging on the top of the stick. And the pinky doesn't really have a specific purpose other than to kind of be attached to the ring finger and support that stick in the resting position. Okay, so as I'm in my set position, thumb on top, My thumb and first finger are connected right there at the nail bed. The stick is resting on my ring finger. I'm squeezing that stick in between the thumb and the first finger. And there's a good resting position. Okay, depending on if you're practicing this with the snare drum on a carrier or on a stand like I have it, I like to go 2 fingers above the rim for the angle of the stick. Slight downward angle on both sides, and then the beads in the center of the head, as close to the head without touching as possible. All right, so let's go through some legato stroke with traditional grip. And I want you to pay attention to how the thumb stays on the top as I'm moving and rotating that wrist. Okay, just on the left hand right now, we're going to keep the right hand in the set position in the center of the head. All right, nothing super tight about this, letting the snare drum bounce, letting the head and the rebound of the stick naturally kick that stick back up and down. And then what you're going to find is you're just controlling that bounce with mostly the underside of the index finger. All right, that's where I feel any point of contact. In fact, it's very common and totally normal for the other 3 fingers to just kind of stay in that position, but not necessarily apply pressure to the stick. All right, where we will start to apply that contact point with the rest of the grip is when we go into our stop strokes, where we want the stick to not bounce up, but stay down towards the head. All right, any accents that we play with both hands, right hand included. All right, it's going to be a little bit more pressure on the stick, but please kind of be conscious of how hard you're squeezing the sticks. All right, we don't want really, really tight grips on either side, either the match grip side or the traditional grip side. That's a recipe for tension, and kind of a lot of bad things stem from that. So kind of stay relaxed, but go through the differences between your legato strokes, such as an 8 on a hand exercise, 8s and 16ths exercise. And then a stop stroke exercise like an accent to tap exercise. All right, and the goal for that stop stroke exercise is we want to stop that stick from bouncing back up and leave the bead of the stick close to the head so that you're ready to play those 3-inch taps that would be after it. All right, on the traditional grip side, we're turning up for that accent, coming down, stopping that stick with the underside of the index finger, as well as some contact with the ring finger and the stick, and trying to keep that close to the head as possible so that you're ready for that tap stroke after that. All right, 8 on a hand, 16ths after is a nice basic way for all high school students, middle school students looking to kind of get comfortable with the traditional grip. That is where I would want you to start. Start with a nice legato stroke exercise. If your high school has one, if you have one that you've seen online that you like, any legato stroke exercise will work. Just make sure that you're kind of going through a mental checklist of your technique, of your squeeze points. Am I squeezing too hard? Where's my index finger? Where's my ring finger? Is my palm open? Is my thumb on top? All of those checkpoints are things that I want you to kind of work on away from campus. If you are looking to come here and audition for the Drumline, I want you to kind of be aware of those kind of points with traditional grip before you submit an audition video and before you come to campus. All right. As always, please feel free, reach out by email. My email is jcarver, then the number 4 @uwyo.edu. or you can feel free to kind of message through our social media pages, and we will get you the answers that you're looking for, or get you in touch with one of our student Drumline members for a little bit more help from there. All right, hope you enjoy, and we hope to see you practicing this at home, whether it's on a snare drum at your high school, on your snare drum at home, driving maybe your neighbors and your parents crazy, or on a drum pad is perfectly fine as well. Thank you.